Hello, my mathematicians. Today we're looking at Module 7, Lesson 2, which is all about assessing reasonableness of the fraction sums and differences. Hopefully by the end of the lesson, you will be able to add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators using a common denominator and assess the reasonableness. So number 1 says Jamie is building a bird feeder. He connects two metal rods together to make a stand. The blueprint for the project shows the lengths of the rods. What is the total length of the rods? Write an expression to model the situation. If we look over here in our picture, we have the two different lengths. So we would have 1/6 plus 2/3. So it says find a common denominator for the fraction in this expression. Well, if we look at our 6 and our 3, and we list out our multiples of 6, we have 6, 12, 18. If we list out our multiples of 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we'd see that 6 is our smallest one. So our common denominator, or a common denominator, is 6. So it says write equivalent fractions using the common denominator. Well, 1/6 is going to equal 1/6. Then 2/3 is going to equal something over 6. Well, we multiply the 3 by 2 in order to get 6. We have to multiply the 2 by 2. So that is going to be 4/6. Then it says write an expression using fractions with a common denominator, then find the total length of the rods. So that means we're going to do the 1/6 plus 4/6. So that would equal 5/6, because our denominator stays the same and we add a numerator. So 1 plus 4 is 5. And explain how we know our answer is reasonable. Well, if we were to go back up and we were to estimate, so if we do our estimate, 1/6 is close to 0, and 2/3 is close to 1. So that would equal 1. And 5/6 is almost 1. So my answer is reasonable. And then we go to the next page. Okay, so Jamie fastens the bottom of the bird feeder to the pole. He has 4 boards that are each 5-6 foot long. How much must Jamie cut from each board to make each side of the feeder 3/4 long? So just write an expression you can use to solve the problem. Well, we'd have 5/6 minus 3/4. Then it says write an expression using fractions with a common denominator to model the problem. Then find how much Jamie must cut from each board. So my first step, we're going to say step 1 is write multiples, because there are a lot of steps. So we're going to start over here. We're going to have 6. So we're going to go 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. And we're going to write my multiples of 4. So we're going to go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So step 2, find common multiple. or common denominator. So here it would be 12 is my lowest one, so I like doing that. And then step 3, write equivalent fractions. So to do that, we have 5, 6 equals something over 12. We multiply the 6 by 2 to get 12, so we multiply the 5 by 2 and we get 10. So we're going to have 10 twelfths minus, and then we have 3/4 equals something over 12. We multiply 4 by 3 to get 12, so we have to multiply the 3 by 3. That gives me 9. So we have 9 twelfths. 10 twelfths minus 9 twelfths. And our denominator stays the same, and we do 10 minus 9 is 1, so we get 1/12 of a foot. Explain how you know your answer is reasonable. So if we look at what my estimate would be, I would have 1 minus 1 would equal 0. 1/12 is close to 0. So my answer is reasonable. And step 4 over here is solve. So that is it for today's lesson. Hopefully you are now able to add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators using common denominator and assess reasonableness. Remember, in order to be a math person, all you have to do is be a person and do math.